Hey guys, welcome to the Shrewsbury. Not professional at this at all. I'm using my new mixer, my new toy, and I just mixed that in on the mixer. Sorry, I'm just giggling to myself. I'm Alex Whiteley. Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit. And today I'm joined with a guy whose work you may be familiar with if you live in Shrewsbury. And you have eyes. It's Aaron Child who made the beautiful. You made so many amazing stuff, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
But the Christmas video that you made for Original Shrewsbury was just so emotionally brilliant. So first of all, straight off, like I love that. So well done.
That's nice. You're making me blush.
I know some people aren't very good with compliments. I know I'm not brilliant with it. When people are like, "Oh, I love your show, man. I love that stuff." I'm kind of like, "Thanks." Man.
I know. Yeah. What do you say? Yeah. Gotta stay humble.
How are you, man? You good?
I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Good times. January. It's a nice kind of month for me.
I think the older you get, the sort of longer January becomes.
It is long. Yeah. I mean, for the last couple of years, I try and put January into just chill a bit because December's usually crazy. Because I love Christmas for Christmas films, so I make a bunch.
Yeah.
And then I'm worn out, and then I just chill, reflect, drink a lot of coffee, stay in the warm.
It's meant to be one of those sort of times of years where you're supposed to sort of really go for it. You know, this is the year what we're gonna have.
Oh yeah.
But like the beginning of January this year, I was kind of like. The first week, I was just kind of like, I got no energy, get up and go. And then the second week, me and Amy, who's my amazing new co-host, who's not here today, we had a meeting and we just planned everything from now right up until August, right. just events alone. Never mind the superstar guests we need to get on. So I had that sort of little burst. Oh, yeah. You guys are, man. Shrewsbury is one of those places that has something to offer. Or Shrewsbury, Shropshire, wherever it is. It's got something to offer in every single little crevice of every single.
Oh, totally, man. Yeah, there's something about Shrewsbury. Like, there's so many. It's just a good creative hub in there. There's everywhere you look.
It's becoming more and more creative.
Yeah.
I mean, since I started doing the biscuit right up until now, there seems to be especially more young people coming out that are making creative stuff.
Well, just being able to actually get it out there, and I think. You're seeing it around the town. There's all these artists that have been around for a while, but you just like those what are they? Those telephone boxes with all
the BT boxes.
BT boxes, they're fantastic. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing. Like those people in the town have just been like, wow, there are some cool artists, and there's all these different kinds of styles, but it's everywhere. The amount of talented tattoo artists too, that kind of thing. It's just
tattoo artists.
Man, it's cool.
Tattoo art is something for me. I mean, we spoke to Jess from Vanitas. Parade. She's lovely. She's really. In fact, we need to catch up with her. I feel like tattoo artists. They do this thing that seems so scary to me. You mess up and that person's got on the body almost for the rest of their life. They got to, cover it up, whatever. But you've got their sort of such a huge responsibility.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, right? Yeah. Not for me.
So, Aaron, where do you hail from? Are you from Shropshire originally?
Yeah. Grew up in Telford for a little bit, then moved to the little woodland area of Ponsbury.
Oh, nice.
I was there for most of my life. Yeah.
I lived in Telford for many years. We lived in Dawley, but it was opposite that park with the graffiti art on the garage, and it was quite nice. It was quite quiet actually, but Kaz got family in Shrewsbury, so we moved here, and I just fell in love with the place. I came here and it's like I always explain the first time when we came here. We came here just before the huge snowstorms, the Beast from the East, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
And I remember walking through Greyfriars, and there's that metal bridge in Greyfriars, beautiful. And I felt, the love.
Yeah.
I just felt it's so photographically beautiful.
Oh yeah, everywhere you look.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. Yeah.
What is your you make a lot of beautiful videos, right? Is that your only skill set? Have you got so many different creative things that you can play around with? Because
I mean that's what I've been doing for 10 years mainly as my main kind of job.
Yeah,
my only job.
And how do you get into that? How, in your mind, do you suddenly I want to make movies?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know I wanted to do it until uni. I thought I wanted to do musical theatre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I did this uni course in Cardiff that was performance and media, so it's the most broad thing. You just do whatever you want, basically. And I remember making a film just for fun and being like, yeah, I get this. I get how to like tell a story with this, everything kind of clicks and connects, and it was ace. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially with short videos. Shorts. I mean, we're working with Gareth from Rock and Horse Studios at the moment. Rock and Horse Media, should I get it right? They're making a TV pilot called Karen. I've been going to the auditions and getting to know these people. Young director Luke Allen, the Horses and Biscuit stuff we've been doing has been pretty cool because it's been telling this story from a very interesting narrative, because we started right from the very beginning. And people are seeing the auditions. They're seeing like the main actress that plays Karen has stepped away for a bit now, so they're looking for a new character. So we're just getting involved in this stuff. Yeah. But like I'm learning more about sort of like how they write, how they put these things together. But that's for a long, hour-long, 40 minutes long episode. Like, but with short stuff, it's got to be quick.
It's crazy.
Sharp.
The world at the moment. I mean, most of what you see is the TikTok vibe videos, which is there's already a trend there. There's already a formula. There's either a dance or a funny little thing you do, and then you just copy it and use the music that's there. So there's like a lot of stuff you're seeing is. It's just the way it is, isn't it? It's just repetitive.
It's got to be quick. You got to grab someone with it.
It's just the trend, but then it dies off in a week or whatever. But to actually produce a proper TV show or a pilot like these guys like you guys are doing, takes a lot of work, a lot of planning.
Yeah,
looking at like the Christmas film, for example, we started that in the summer, and it was just a lot of planning, storyboarding. Finding the actors. So
did you start storyboarding in the summer, or had you already storyboarded it and then you started recording it? How did that work?
I storyboarded it in my head maybe like a year before that. So I'd already had this idea, and I love doing that. I love like coming up with an idea and then taking it to somebody and being like, look, I've got this fully fleshed idea. This is how it works. This is what it'll look like. What do you reckon? And fortunately, the guys in Shrewsbury, the bid, liked it. We just cracked on with it. But yeah, helps having an actual storyboard made. So
okay. Well, I'm learning. We're making some little vlog. It won't be nowhere near to the quality of what you got. I mean, we'll try our best. But I have an idea what I want to do. But to like say to someone, to use your ideas in your head as direction is not easy. So the storyboard idea is a great idea.
Man, directing is the hardest thing for me. That I would say is the thing that I find hardest. Just being able to get what's in your head and portray that to everybody, from like the actors, the crew, the lighting, and usually in a quite a short space of time. Because if you set up on a shoot, you probably got an hour or two in a certain place, and you've got to get everything across, everything set up, and
it's good to go prepared.
Make sure the actors know what they're doing, and it is hard.
And I think that's one of the best things about that Christmas video was the lighting, because that scene up in the attic and the lights up and stuff.
Yeah. That was a big, I wanted that to be a big part of it, especially those little lanterns. So they were all like custom made. The guy called Dan Knorr, he's just this lighting magician. He just creates all these battery powered lights.
Take pictures.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got my new toys to play with now. So
he's just kind of waving at me as about an inch in front of my face. Yeah. Zooming in and out.
Yeah. There we go. So Dan Knorr made these custom lights.
Yeah, and then Saffron Russell, who
I've interviewed
amazing illustrator. She made these cool lanterns that they sit in, and pop some sticks on it, and you're good to go. But they look so cool.
You did.
Cameras now as well, like you can film in such low light that you just need these tiny little candle lights to light up this whole scene. If that's how you want to light it, and it looks ace.
It does. But where did you get the story from for this then? Because I saw that there is a bit of an explanation of sort of where it all came from. But in your mind, how did you put it all together? So you had this idea for a year. Where did it come from?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Is it a dream?
I don't know. I get asked it a lot actually.
You think about it in the shower when you're shopping.
To be fair, shower is usually the place where a lot of ideas come.
Yeah.
I'm one of them that like all of a sudden 2 hours has gone by, I've been in the shower and like I've got wrinkly fingers and my girlfriend's like banging on the door like, why are you always in there for so long? Like I'm coming up with film ideas.
I always come up with like these amazing songs and I'm like, oh, why have I run out of conditioner?
I bet your other half loves that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and then you forget them. These are amazing masterpieces, you know.
I'm with you. Yeah. But I don't know where it came from. I just love Christmas films. I love the idea of like that kind of those kind of heroes too, those protagonists. It's just like kids, you know. That is the best way to enjoy Christmas, is to look through the eyes of like a kid and experience it as a kid, because that is how we all think of Christmas, right? We're just big kids. Yeah,
there's something special. I mean, like what I loved about the reason I keep bringing up the lighting is because we've all been in that situation. We've got the tree up in the corner,
yeah,
the lights on, and you whack the lights off, and there's that specific glow you kind of only get at Christmas. And that's the kind of feeling I got off the lighting of the attic.
Yeah,
and
twinkly.
Yeah, and it takes you back to when you were a kid. And those sort of feelings you had of excitement, of the warmth, of being around the family. I mean, even if you've only ever read that a couple of times in your life, you'll never forget it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I think you told that really well.
Yeah, warmth. That's a good word to...
Yeah, warmth.
It's the general tone of it. Yeah.
What was the feedback when that was released? And, you know, I mean, I loved it. I messaged you straight away at Painted Life. And I didn't realise it was you, because I've been aware of you for a while. Because did you help Shane Chebsey with the comic Salopius?
Yes, I did. Yeah, way back.
So Shane was like, "Oh, we're getting an interview with Aaron," and I was like, "Okay," and it's never happened. These things happen all the time. Exactly. So that when I realised it was you, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I think because I saw you at the Sherry's art fair.
Yeah.
And like I'd kind of pieced it together because I saw you with your mic, and I was like, I know who this guy is.
So cringy.
It's the Biscuit.
Yeah, the Biscuit guy.
Yeah.
I've got a hat coming today which says the Biscuit guy on it.
That'll do it.
So cringy. But no, I mean, I love it. I love that people recognise me, and like you, for your work. Have people reached out and said anything nice about the video?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of people just messaging saying they cried, which is like, I've never had that before. And it's like, also, how do you respond to that? Like, thank you. Sorry.
I told you that.
You said it. You were on the first.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. Like, it was so positive. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice to get good feedback, because I think a lot of the time when you're doing online videos, you don't really see much of a reaction. So you do just get comments or messages. But to be able to walk down the street and somebody be like, "Oh, I saw the video," you know, it made me cry. Like, it was so lovely. Like, it made my Christmas start or something like that. It was great, you know.
It was that moment when you stood around the Darwin statue and the snow just suddenly drops.
Oh yeah.
That was it. I was like, oh my god, that's beautiful.
It looks really calm and lovely, but that shoot was pretty chaotic. It's so calm.
Really?
Yeah. Just with the snow machine.
Yeah.
Which was being a bit temperamental, and obviously it would only you could only chuck out so much snow before you had to refill it.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, turn it on, okay, you run into the snow, enjoy it. Do a spin, quick.
Look happy. I know I'm shouting at you, but look happy. I can imagine there's a lot of that.
Yeah, you know, there's so much to be said for editing. Just get as many shots as you can, and then it'll work out in the end.
But I mean, what did I say at the beginning of this podcast? The first time I came to Shrewsbury, I saw the snow, and that's kind of like that moment of, because I've never really felt it. I've never loved where I live, and that sounds like a weird place, but until I come to Shrewsbury, and that's kind of like where that came from, you know. I was kind of like, wow, this is a good place to bring up my kid.
Yeah,
you know, and that's kind of what. Oh man, I'm getting choked now just thinking about it. But so, what's the first sort of when you start making videos for the mainstream, for the localities and festivals, things like that? Where do you start with this? Where's the first time you make a video where you can go, this is what I do?
The best advice I can give for anybody like starting out. Are you talking about people who've already got the skills?
No, you. I mean, like, what's the first thing you made that you're like, oh, I'm good at this, and then you can use that as a portfolio to say to people, I'm worth investing in.
Oh, the first proper one in Shrewsbury. I did this. The bid actually. Oh no, hang on. Take a step back. I did this project called the Christmas Countdown Shrewsbury, which was more of a challenge to myself. And I just started up. I think I was a year into my business. And I was like, time to meet some people, time to get the word out, time to kind of show what I can do. So it was a video every day in December for a different independent shop. And it was like an advent calendar, but films. And it was cool. And I was only charging like 25 quid or something, 50 quid a film. So nothing much at all. And then you could go onto the website and it looked like an advent calendar, and you'd open up the little thing and then a video would play for a different indie shop. And it was just cute. And that was lovely because it was such a fun project, and I tried to make it as stress-free as possible. It's just like, look, let's just have fun with this. And I think the independent kind of business crowd in Shrewsbury is so strong.
Yeah.
You know, there's such a great community that kind of set me up a little bit. And then the bid got in touch and asked me to do a summer video. So I did the first Shrewsbury bid video because it was their first year in being a bid in town. And then that went really well. And then from there I was kind of set up.
So then you have this thing where you can be like,
yeah, that was the one. It was like a 50-second video, but it was just like the punchiest thing. I crammed so much into it. It was like good fun.
I hear so much of, who was I talking to yesterday? I was talking to somebody about something they'd done for the TV.
Yeah.
It was some BBC thing where they recorded for like an hour and they did all this, that, and the other. And then they showed like 15 seconds of it or something, And I'm like, are you serious? It seems like a serious waste of time, Is there any of that with you where you spend like 2 hours recording something and you got to chop it into like 20-second segments?
Totally. That is, and that kind of, you try and avoid it.
Yeah.
Because it's also, if it is a job, it's not worthwhile for the client if you're spending, if you're charging a day's filming and then they get a 15-second video. It's usually like, well, you don't.
I mean, I guess it is part of the job, but I mean,
can be
finding that right moment. I don't know.
Cutting it down can be like a challenge, but the thing that I always struggle with is if I do like a community project, which has got lots of people in it and lots of actors or extras, and then we have to cut them for whatever reason out of the final film. I've had tears. I've had people like say, "My son was so excited to be in the film, but why? What have you done? Why aren't they in it?" And it's heartbreaking, but it's part of the job.
Sometimes
edit room floor is brutal.
Sometimes you'll be asked to do something, you'll do it, and it won't be. I mean, I used to do voices for on the left side, which is a very popular sports podcast. It's not about anymore, but Ant McGinley, who created it, very much is. He's one of the podcast OGs, but I used to do these impressions for him, like Jurgen Klopp. I used to do all these, but sometimes he'd be like, "Can you do this?" So I'd have a go because it was like, have a go if you think you can do it. And I'd be like, and I'd do my best. I'd be practicing all day. I'd be messing about with these accents around the house, driving them wife nuts. I'll sit down to do it, record it, send it to him, and be like, yes, I can't wait to listen to this. And he just wouldn't put it in.
Yeah.
But it just happens.
Brutal. It is, yeah.
It just happens.
It's part of it.
I accept that.
And you can do, I mean, the amount of times that I've tried stuff and, I love stop motion, anything like that. So
really? The Aardman stuff.
Yeah, man. But like just, I'll just try something. And then after about 4 hours, I'm like, yeah, it didn't work. It's rubbish.
Have you tried to do something that you thought was maybe a bit too ambitious or you didn't think was going to look great and it turned out to be actually, wow, this looks amazing?
Interesting. Good question. I don't know, really. No, I mean, I always try, kind of dodging your question a bit, but I always try and do something a bit new and a bit different in every film so that it always stays a bit fresh, So, yeah, that is a challenge, I think, for any creative to keep things fresh and not go stale.
My Facebook Messenger is just going bum 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 bum. I'm like, leave me alone. Oh, okay. But I love those sweeping shots that you have. Where you'd be like,
oh yeah,
you walk in and you zoom in really quickly and then you slow down again.
Yeah.
Do you have a calling card in with your footage? Is there something that's like, oh, that's an
like a
child
style? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing about filmmaking, right? Like that, you can quite easily develop a style.
Yeah.
And even without meaning to, I think. So I know there's a handful of other filmmakers in the town too, and they've all got their individual style, which is great. But yeah, I love doing those kind of big, wide, kind of like sweeping and speeding up and slowing down.
Yeah.
Funky music.
Yeah, you've done some stuff like that for Beth as well, some of the festival stuff
Yeah.
you've done. It just works so well.
Oh, that's great. I love, like, I always choose the funk as the music choice, but
Funk.
I love
like that.
it. Some people
I like the lo-fi. Lo-fi music is really good for vlog music.
totally.
Vlogs.
Yeah. Good beat. As long as you've got a good beat to edit to, you know.
I can just listen to that anyway. Sometimes I'll be like trying to sample music and I'm listening around for music and I'll just be like, ooh, I'm not going to use it, but let's just, ooh.
Yeah.
Let's take a second there. Like, ooh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Editing for you. Is it something that you enjoy, or is it just one of those ball busting things you've got to do and you just get on with it? Because some people I know really love editing. It's like there's some satisfaction of breaking things down and making something work.
Totally.
What is it like for you?
It's so they're so different, those two sides of the business. Like sort of filmmaking is like actually going out and filming, being sociable, like being really active. You know, you're throwing yourself around a lot of the time trying to get the shots you want. And then the polar opposite is sitting behind a desk completely on your own, staring at a screen, editing. So, but for me, I quite like that balance because there are some days when I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to shut myself off and just like edit and just hyper focus on that. But then there's other days when I'm like, damn, I need to get out, like see people, and actually like feel a bit more alive. So I like that balance. Hard keeping it like even.
I find it really. I mean, if you're being paid for it, I guess there's the motivation there. But I find it hard to motivate myself.
Yes.
Sometimes I've got a podcast to release tomorrow, which I will edit tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll edit and release it in the afternoon because my schedule's nuts anyway at the moment. But like, it's trying to fit things in. But it's trying to find out. You've got to sometimes ignore, like, you got to switch off for a bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Recharge your batteries, and I haven't had the opportunity to do that this week, not at all. And Eternal's just been released on the on Disney Plus.
Yes, it has.
So tomorrow night I'll be enjoying that. Yeah. So what is it you do to sort of recharge your batteries and make it so that it's easier to go back into editing mode and motivate yourself?
This year actually I've got a hack now.
Oh, I love a hack. I love a good hack.
Yeah. Well, like with editing, right? There's a lot of exporting and waiting. Like, you know, you'd be waiting for 20 minutes for something to just bounce out. And that's like 20 minutes. Okay, what do I do with that? And so I love music, and I've always been into music, and I play music. And so
really? What do you play?
A bit of this, bit of that. Guitar, saxophone. Like to sing.
Ooh.
Like to play a bit of drums. But I've just as another form of a kind of creative outlet that isn't work, I've invested in some kind of, you know, a little bit of recording kit. I only like the bare minimum just to kind of get some songs down. But yeah, it's just a nice break away from editing that kind of really linear focus of just like drag that, put that on that, to making some music, which is a totally like, it just opens everything up and you can just explore. Like,
do you like to just slap at the bass, or do you, or you know, or do you like to play over like songs that you learn new songs that you know?
I am rubbish at learning songs.
So you like to make your own things. That's what I mean by slap it. Just like some people just like bomb, but you know, just ad lib some music.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I'm rubbish at remembering lyrics. But I love improvising. I love just like messing around. Actually, the only reason I wanted to get into it because every Christmas I give Alana, my other half, a music video. Not public. Nobody sees it. Probably shouldn't say about it. It's a bit embarrassing.
No, it's not. That's beautiful. That's really nice.
Made up of footage just from the year because she's ace and she usually steps in as my actor for projects.
That's really nice.
She's very good at it, which is why. Not just because she's there. Promise.
Yeah, but there's... I've had that before as well. I mean, Timmy and Kaz have been very brilliant with, like, we did stuff with the folk festival and stuff, and where they were there, where they were ever present, my wife holding cameras, carrying stuff and helping me out, and you know, a big shout out to people that are creators that have like spouses that follow them around and are supportive, because you know, it's a busy life.
Yeah, it is.
It really
I mean, friends and people who will, because a lot of the time they can see that you're just like, you're a bit hectic. If I'm sure it's the same for you, but for me, if I'm on a shoot and I've got all this kit, and a lot of the time friends and like family will come along and just be there just to like just hang out and just help you with it, and I don't think they get enough praise, like you said, because it's helps so much, and I think sometimes it's easy to overlook that. But yeah. Grateful for you guys.
Yeah. And you know what? You know, talking about my kid Leon was with us for the Battle of Shrewsbury, and I was like, right, we've got the studio here. Here's a task cam. Go and get some interviews for me. Off you go. And he did. He really enjoyed himself.
Love it. That's nice.
But when it comes to shooting a short sort of video about, I don't know, the food festival or something, how do you decipher what you're going to make that's short, snappy, with so much noise around you? Yeah.
That is a good question. I mean, the fundamentals of a good film, of any film, like a promo, like a short promo, is just variety. And that's a variety of shots. So wide shots, you can see everything. Super close up, so you can see, like, I don't know, if somebody's making some food, you see them like making a panini or something, for instance. And then those mid shots and those people shots, and like getting people to really like, you know, getting people to interact with the camera and just having a laugh. I mean, it's just trying to make it feel like you're there, you know? So
that's good.
Really
good shout. Make you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
See, a lot of my vlogs are usually like me walking in front of the camera, like, "Hey guys," which is great and everything. But like the stuff that you do is tells a story. I mean, like, you know,
camera's facing the other way for me.
Yeah,
I don't film myself.
Well, that's how I'm going to do the seller stuff. Is I'm not going to actually be in front of the camera, because like I belong behind a microphone. I'm in that circumstance behind the camera, and I'll narrate it.
Yeah,
I'll be like, Chris Shirk is an urban explorer from. I won't. Are
you going to film Chris like walking through?
I don't know what we're going to do yet. I need to speak to you after we finish this about storyboard and something like that, and making sure that we can get to a place and get it done. I need to organise lighting as well. I'd imagine going down there is going to be quite difficult with lighting, any sort of cellar, you know, because it's an enclosed space. Yeah, you know? Get
yourself some decent LEDs, battery powered.
Okay, right, we can sort that out. But you know, and do you get to mentor any sort of young filmmakers coming through as people get involved? Because I know you're just starting off your path, really. You know, with Painted Life, and you know, it's been around since what, 20?
Well, 10 years actually.
Oh right, okay.
But I did. Well, I was doing a lot of work in Oswestry for a couple of years when you first moved over. I wasn't really around Shrewsbury much, but just basically just got back into Shrewsbury films recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it quite a bit. So has anybody come up to you like, "Oh, Aaron, can you help me out with this? Can you give me mentoring?"
It's tough. It's always been tough, because I really want to be able to do that. And actually, this year is the year that I'm actively trying to do more of that. I'm hoping, actually, it's kind of like under the radar, but I'm hoping to set up a proper studio this year.
Cool.
But a space for people to use, you know, a space to kind of work with creatives, whether it's filmmakers, photographers, like digital artists, because there's a lot of people out there who've got amazing skills, and I know personally from experience, like my family are amazing artists, but something you're not generally taught in any form of education is business skills or business management.
Amen, brother.
Right?
Amen.
Like, it's not taught at all, and like just that guidance. I mean, more on top of that, I mean, as well as like taxes and stuff like that, which is terrifying. Actually, how to deal with people, actually how to communicate, sell yourself, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's taken me 10 years, but I think I've kind of figured it out now. And I really want to be able to help people who were like I was.
Well, you got a business to run as well, and you know, it's not easy. The Biscuit is a company, and I thought, because we're CIC, I just thought you create the company and just leave it and crack on, because we hadn't actually earned any money until recently. Yeah, we were a company for a year, hadn't earned anything. So I thought, well, we don't have to do anything, do we? But then they were like, oh, no, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do your tax returns. And I was like, what? We've earned nothing. And they're like, well, you still need to, all that sort of stuff. It's a good idea.
Still got to fill it in, yeah.
And, when you say a studio space for creatives, I feel like Shrewsbury is crying out for that. We're talking at the beginning of this podcast about how Shrewsbury's developing into this creative hub.
Yeah.
We need to do something to nurture that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just, there are a lot of spaces that also act as like a cool community space for creatives. Most of the coffee shops have got great regulars that go in, and that's where they meet. I know you go to the coffee house quite a lot.
Yeah, coffee house, house coffee,
Ginger
daily
Co,
brews.
Awesome. There's so many.
Yeah,
but I'd love a place, right, where, if somebody was like, I'm setting up a business and I need stuff, I don't know what I need, right? Photos, videos, website. They could just pop in and just chat to someone friendly and just see like what the town's got to offer. Like there's all these people and just help facilitate that, make it happen.
Well, Oswestry's got open spaces, which I've been to a couple of times.
Open space studios.
Yeah. And they've got like this space where if you want to use it, they'll let you use it. And I feel like we could do something like that in Shrewsbury.
Totally.
We can make some money.
Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's open up our own studios.
Let's do it.
Because we do, there's so much space that's being unused in Shrewsbury at the moment. It's crazy to think that this town is trapped up in this loop of the river, but yet there's so much space to use still. There's empty shops, there's places above places.
I know.
I imagine.
What freaks me out is like the stuff behind the buildings on the street.
Yeah.
Right, you think that is the town, right? So you walk down the high street and there's all the shop fronts. But there's like 10 times that amount of space behind those shop fronts.
Yeah.
Oh, what's in them? Like, who owns them? How do we get in them? I guess that's kind of what you and Chris are like looking at, right?
Yeah, well, it's more about sort of giving people the opportunity to look in places where they can't go.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for example, they've got this amazing basement space apparently underneath the museum.
Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah, and so if we create a poster with a QR code where you go scan it, bam, and then you get a video of this place you cannot go to.
Dude, you know what would be cool? Having like a 360 degree camera down there and almost like turn it into a VR thing.
Yeah, so people...
And then you can turn around, you look at the spaces if you're in it.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Get yourself one of them cameras.
They're very expensive, aren't they?
But I really want to get into 360 degree stuff. I think it'd be ace.
That's a great segue into my next question, which is how do you keep up to date with the modern day equipment? I mean, we're just looking at my fancy new camera, which
I love it.
It's great, but I had to do so much research to make sure I was getting the right one. So I imagine you're having to do an awful lot because, especially working with drones and cameras and mics and stuff.
That's the thing, like everything that is all these cameras and drones or whatever, they update every 6 months. And then it's like, the new best thing, you have to have this new one. It's so much better than the others. And you're like, I just bought the other one. But it's tricky. But I think there is now, most cameras are at that certain level where it's like, they're amazing. I mean, most cameras do 4K now. And you think about the videos where they're being watched on YouTube or on Facebook, but on your phone, you can't see more than 1080p. Like there's not enough pixels on the phone, so you're not even seeing the amount of quality that you're filming. Which is always that weird thing. Is like, okay, well, I'm going to film it to be the best quality, but you know that it's never going to end up at that at the end.
Yeah, unless people are watching on their TVs at home.
Yeah, right. Who does that? But that is something I'd love to do. Is like have this kind of almost like a mini cinema, like screening room. So imagine like a bride and groom who get their wedding video, and they can come and have this like private screening, get a bit of prosecco, watch it on the big screen, and like actually experience their wedding film for the first time, like properly, and not on their phone or on a laptop, because. Damn, that'd be cool, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
any film, any photo slideshow, be ace.
A great idea. Maybe the old market hall. Maybe you can speak to them and be like,
yeah, that's true. They're lovely there too.
They're really good. Yeah. Really good. We recorded an interview there. I love the sound of coffee shops. Even when I do get a studio eventually, one day, there's so many people like, I need to get a studio. And when I do, I'm still going to probably use coffee shops to record in, because I love that clinking and even the coffee grinder. Daily Brews, right? We sat literally where you are now, that where my wedding picture is there, it would be where the bar was and where they were making coffee and serving. So it was a queue of people behind you now.
Yeah.
And it was noisy.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. I love that.
That all comes back to like this immersion. Like when you're watching something or listening to something, I think you want to feel like you're there with them. So if you feel like you sat in a coffee shop, I love that, environment and that sound. I think most people that choose to go to a coffee shop for that. Maybe without even thinking, but that sound, the ambience is like.
When I'm editing stuff, I like to find a coffee shop sometimes, and I will just sit there and disappear for like 2 hours. I'm like, got my headphones on, and I can just about feel that coffee shop vibe, the people hustle and bustle. I am not paying attention to anybody around me. In fact, someone will probably have to physically tap me on my shoulder and be like, "Oh, hello,
it's closing time." Like.
I just love being around that kind of vibe. You'll find me not most days, but at least once a week, in-house coffee in Colham.
Yeah.
Just sitting there beasting away at some editing project. That's probably where I'm going to go tomorrow, to be fair, to edit my podcast.
Do it. It's nice there, isn't it?
Is there anything, it's one of the most cliche questions, especially when you ask like bands or actors or, what's your influence, but like when it comes to filmmakers, an influence is actually really important. It's kind of like, what are you going to take from, are you gonna go for the Kevin Smith kind of rugged black and white look? Are you going to go for the Alfred Hitchcock kind of? Is there anything you look at and you feel like, I need to be influenced? I'm going to go back and look at that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess the whole idea is to take influences from everything you see, right, and just pull bits that you like. In terms of like a style, like I don't get the chance to do short films or like really creative just films that often, but I'd like that to change. I'd like to do more advertising that is short film vibes, storytelling, where that comes in more. And like the Christmas film, I think I literally rewatched Aladdin to look at the genie. I rewatched Jumanji for like all those kind of that drumming in the attic type of vibes.
That's a good shout.
You know what I mean? Like there's all these things you're like, this idea reminds me of something. I'm going to go back and watch that film that it's in and see how they did it. And like, why in that film did the sound design work so well? Or how did they create that suspense or something like that? I think it's good to do that.
Yeah. I mean, like the idea of my cellar thing is very much. It's got to sound like a really weird. If you've ever seen,
tell me your weird idea.
It's going to be a weird shout, but Bar Rescue, which is one of my favorite things to watch on Amazon. If you've never seen Bar Rescue, find it. Bar Rescue. It's a bit like Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, right? So you got John Taffer, who's like this huge. He's run like 800 bars around the world. He knows what he's doing. He's like one of the biggest. And he'll turn up to some dive bar and he'll be like, "Oh my God, what is this? What is this food?" He'd do the Gordon Ramsay thing, but he swears, he gets in their face. He's throwing pints in people's faces. When there's this guy, his bar is like crashing around his feet, and he's sat at the bar chatting up, being really sleazy to these girls, while his wife is working her backside off, and he walks up and he goes, shame on you, and throws a drink in his face. But there's this really actually like really cool sort of build up, like this bar is set Pasadena. It's X amount of square feet and it has this, that, and the other, and they do this amazing. I'd love something like that for what we're going to do. But this place is situated in front of the castle, and then this spin sort of, and then you have. That's where I'm going to get my influence from.
I'm going
to go back and watch a couple. The whole long-winded point of saying that is that I'm going to do what you just did. So I'm going to go back and watch a few of those episodes and take some pointers. I
mean, documentaries in general, because that's kind of what this is. It's documentary vibe, right?
So
like, there's some awesome different style documentaries. You got your classic ones, like what's his name with the glasses?
Louis Theroux.
Louis Theroux, yeah. Very classic, very like fly on the wall. But then there's this guy who's released one recently, and it's called The Dark Tourist. It's on Netflix.
Is that the one where they went to Yeah, I saw
all
that.
over the place. They go to Colombia. They go,
Chernobyl and stuff.
yeah. And like there's a hint
Japan.
of comedy in that, which is really subtle, but like it's amazingly well done. And yeah, have a little watch of that, like to get some inspiration maybe.
Tiger King as well. Tiger King is just one of the. Like, I just finished watching season 2 of Tiger King, and I'm like, what's that? I don't understand how this is the thing this is the whole. It just keeps going.
That's mad, isn't it?
It's just nuts.
Yeah.
I interviewed Carol Baskin a few weeks ago, and I did.
Did you actually?
Yeah, she came on my
Stop
podcast. I did. And we made a point.
Superstars, you're right, man. It's awesome.
Not for the biscuit, of course, but
Sure.
for you, suck. We spoke to her, and it caused so much divide, man. Our friends were not happy. A lot of them went, "Why would you speak to her?" And
That's why it's popular. That's why all of that show is like so good, because it creates comments and creates conversation, and it's not like
it's dynamite you throw into a fire. That's what it is.
Freaking polarizing, man. That's it. And that is where a lot of viral stuff comes from.
We made the point of not to bring up Dawn, not to bring up even the Netflix stuff in general. We talked about conservation, and and she openly said like,
nice.
Her goal is to put herself out of business. If she stops people from sort of breeding tigers and lions and stuff like that, and they don't have to come to her place.
Yeah,
that's what she wants to do. It was interesting anyway.
But where's the body though? Sorry.
And people like, did you ask her that question? I was like, no, we wanted to come back on the show maybe at some point.
Yeah. You don't want to rub her up the wrong way.
We're not friends on LinkedIn and stuff. It's quite cool.
Amazing.
Really weird, really weird, Paul.
I'll come over when you go visit her on a ranch.
But
film you.
I don't think I'll. Oh no. Okay. But no. Yeah. Influence is very important. Is there shock places where you found inspiration? Places where you didn't expect to sort of like, oh my god, light bulb moments. Those things.
Good question again.
These are very like.
I know, right?
Yeah. I like to do my interviews as like a discussion, and at the moment I'm kind of like, it's like Parkinson.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I used to like trawl through like just like viral videos and stuff, and just especially like just cool adverts that went viral. Like
TikTok is a good thing. It's a good place because, like you're saying, like we're in the TikTok era.
Yeah.
And I used to love Vines. I love the old 7-second videos, right? And stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I love how creative some people can be. One of the greatest examples is weird, Paul. One of the greatest examples of short storytelling, which I don't know if Rick and Morty, right? Morty's Mind Blowers, right? Is there's an episode where they squeezed in all of these tiny little stories, some of which have told like 20 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
And they tell all of these stories through one episode. A Rick and Morty episode is 26 minutes long, something like that, and they tell all these amazing stories. That's a real skill.
Yeah, they are
real huge skill.
Experts, those guys. Yeah,
and I feel like it's because we're living in this era of these short, snappy videos.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's you kind of. When I first started out making films, it was pretty new, like making videos and putting it out there, especially like adverts or little things online, because Facebook wasn't that old. It was only a couple of years after you could actually watch films on your phone that I was making films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah. So it was quite new, and people would like pay attention. You'd put a film out online, and people were like, "Whoa, yeah, cool. I'll watch this for 10 minutes, see what it's about." But now it's like everywhere, and there's so many sponsored videos too, right? So that is the problem you get now, is that anybody can make something awesome and put it online, but if you don't pay to sponsor it, it doesn't get seen, and that's because everybody else is paying. So if out of like 100 people, 95 people are paying to sponsor it, well, sponsor their videos like that. Those 5 people are going to be at the bottom of the list, so no one's going to see their stuff because of all that other stuff that's getting forced in front of you. And it's just the game, though. It's part of the game. And
the social media algorithms have been a huge battle for a lot of content creators out there.
Totally. And I'm actually, this year, I'm leaning more towards YouTube for the first time ever, as in I really want to help people make YouTube channels, because that's the one platform, right, where people...
Give me a hand if you like.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
But the thing is, we've got like 30 30 subscribers for the biscuit thing, but I'll release a video and it'll get, I don't know, hundreds, sometimes thousands of views. It's really weird how that works.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it's searchable stuff, right? YouTube. So
keywords.
Yeah, it's making what's called evergreen content. So it's like making something that is always relevant, that somebody somewhere at some point will be wondering the question to. Whatever it is, it's like, oh yeah, I wonder what the answer is to that, and then it just comes up straight away. It's a search index, you know. Unlike TikTok or whatever, like you'll never find a video again if you post that up. You know, it's gone in a week.
Yeah.
Same with Instagram and Facebook. It's tricky, you know. But
and that's really hard, isn't it, to keep something up there? And you know, I mean, it's really cool that you can just pin posts on Facebook. That's great. But like you said, the algorithms are very much against you unless you're paying for it. You know.
Yeah, and it's just a game, because I know a lot of people that do. You know, they work with Facebook ads a lot, and it works amazingly. But it's kind of like, you spend a lot of money, and it works out really well. If you want to go down that route, it's just
so that evergreen content, something that is just naturally, organically attractive, is just
and you can make a community, right? Like that's what I like about YouTube, is there is you can just build a community, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and you can really connect with a specific audience, you know, your audience, and you're not trying to appeal to everybody. You know, I feel like there is that feeling with social media, Facebook and Instagram, TikTok or whatever, just to like, you need to make something that everybody likes and goes viral. Like that one video that like, yes, this is going to catch fire. But I think it's way better just to grow your circle, just to have some really people that really love what you're doing, that really understand what you're doing. You, for instance, I know you've got a great core following. Like people love it. It's just growing that. You can stretch all across the world. There's people that will feel the same way.
It is. It's a difficult thing to do, but it's not if you've put some real time into it. You know, there's a lot of people out there that, you're right, there's so much noise out there at the moment, but there's a lot of people that want it now, you know, and that's when you get all the links, posts in your comments and stuff. I hate that. If you're ever going to start a podcast or a YouTube channel or anything, don't just randomly drop links into people's like comment threads and things like that. It's disgusting. I hate it. Like it's like you're not even having a conversation with someone. You're like, please watch my YouTube video, like and share. I hate all that stuff, because it's all got to be organic. I mean, if you made something that's terrible, which I have definitely made terrible things, and it doesn't work, then go out and make something better. That's what I say. That's not me being horrible. That's actually a solid model.
Yeah, totally. Keep making it. Keep being consistent. And it's what you're doing. You're just smashing it out, you know?
Well, I don't know.
Every day you're making stuff and just putting it out there. It's so good.
It's all about, I'm learning at the moment, it's definitely quality over quantity. Because like especially with the You Suck stuff, I was making so much. There was You Suck the Weekly Bazaar, and there was You Suck What's the Difference, and then there was You Suck Live, and there's this, that, the other, and I was kind of like, it wasn't really going anywhere. Yeah,
it's like consistency, but it's got to be of a certain caliber. Yeah, you know, it's all. Yeah, you don't want to let yourself down.
It's also difficult when you live in a place like Shrewsbury with the Shrewsbury Biscuit, as far as this is concerned, because so over Christmas it was just nuts, man. Yeah. But I was getting like 2 or 3 press releases every day. Yeah, man. Little things that we can do. Yeah. I was releasing a podcast. There was like 3 or 4 podcasts being released a week, and it was just I oversaturated my channel. So if you're listening to this now and you're thinking, oh, I could really do some stuff to listen to while I paint the house, or when I do this, when I walk the dog, there is so much in the back catalogue of the Shrewsbury Biscuit right now that you can go back and listen to, because
that's awesome.
I kind of scuppered my own ship, you know, by releasing so much stuff, but I had to, because there was so much to cover, you know.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think more means, you know, is a bad thing at all. And like there is that opportunity to go back and listen to stuff, you know. Yeah. It's great.
It's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
What is there anything you're working on at the moment that you can tell us about, or stuff that's kind of? I mean. I'm really bad to work with, because they're like, right, Alex, we're working on this thing now. Don't say anything. Don't tell anybody. I'm like,
well, I get that, and like, I always wonder how much to hold. You know, how close to hold your cards to your chest, for the phrase.
Yeah.
How much to give away, and I got some advice recently. It was like, talk about your ideas. You know, don't be too cagey, because you can always have more ideas. That's the thing. Like, just have conversations with people.
But have you ever told someone an idea and they've made something so similar, or is it an idea that you've had that you were wanting to do and you're like, oh, I wanted to do that?
That is the tricky thing, isn't it? But I think also by talking about stuff, you're holding yourself accountable, and it's like, okay, the word's out there now.
I got to do this.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And if somebody else beats you to it, it was like, damn, it was too slow. Like if, it's tough. But hopefully, you surround yourself with a community that doesn't do that. But this studio idea is what I've been kind of working on this month. I've got a few viewings this week.
Really?
I'm just trying to find that space.
Who are you going to surround yourself with that? Is it just for you, or is it for other creators?
No, not at all. Like, and this is kind of what you were saying as well. It's so important to make a community, right?
Yeah.
And there is already this incredible artistic, creative community.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a great digital artist community too, which you don't see a lot of because, well, it's online, I suppose. So I just want to help a bit more, and how cool would it be, right, to have a studio with like a bunch of different sets, right? So people can just rock up, come in, the cameras are already there, lights are already there, mics are already set up. Just come in, just film something, crack on, and then there's a bunch of people there who can edit it, or I can pair people up to help them.
Like a network, yeah.
Yeah, totally a network. Just a community where everybody can kind of.
Well, I'd love to be involved with something like that. You know me.
Oh, totally, man. Yeah.
Because
I mean, podcasting in general is, you've got the skills now. You've got the kit. You can share this knowledge with people. There's people who are going to. I know loads of people who want to start a podcast, but they're like, "Oh, why do I start?" So share it, man. Do a workshop.
One of my sponsors messaged me last night. Was like, starting a podcast. Oh, can you help me out? I was like, absolutely.
Yes.
Where should we start?
Yeah.
A good friend of mine as well, a well-known photographer. I won't mention his name because I might embarrass him. But like, he messaged me. He's like, I'm starting a YouTube channel. What cameras, what mics and stuff? And I was like, okay. People do ask.
Yeah, they do.
And we're going to be doing something at a Kids Fest, which you're saying about holding yourself accountable. Well, we've had the green light for this, so this is what's going to happen.
Sweet.
Kids Fest, which is, oh my gosh, when's Kids Fest? We're going to be, I had this idea of putting a studio together with Amy, and we're getting young voices out there. So we want to get some guest presenters of a younger age for the Shrewsbury Biscuit and get them speaking to younger people and try and sort of pass on the torch, because I feel like podcasts have got this real tacky sort of reputation at the moment. There's lots of movies and TV and stuff that always have the school nerd or something walking around with a microphone.
Yeah.
Want to be on my podcast? They even did it on... was it Dawn of Justice or Justice League, where they had some kid going to Superman, want to be on my podcast? And I was just like, no.
Make some films, just make a cool podcaster, please.
Like, you try and portray someone like Joe Rogan in the light like that and see how far you get. There's some amazing podcasts. Anyway, I wanted to sort of encourage people to communicate and use this as a way of sort of journaling. Has become a new thing now, where people are writing things down, keeping things intact.
Absolutely.
And this is that. This is for therapy. It's really good, and ad lib skills. But yeah, Kids Fest. We're going to set up a studio. I'll get the dates for it. We'll share the post.
What are you thinking? What's it going to look like?
I've got. That's probably what that thing was. I bought a marquee, a
Nice.
6 meter square marquee.
Sweet.
So we can set up a studio. I've got a new table coming today, so I've got 2 tables, marquee, we've got banners coming, so we can be anywhere. We can be at any festival, and we can speak to bystanders. We can set up. So if we go to the food festival, we can organise time slots for chefs to come and speak to us. It's going to be amazing. This is what we were supposed to do in 2020.
Yep. Yeah.
And we couldn't.
Yeah. It's ace. I think that's lovely too.
So like if we had a studio space, I don't necessarily need a studio. We did have the parade. We had like a unit that we were using, an empty unit. But like somewhere I can just take my equipment and set up, record,
Too right.
And that's what every creator needs in Shrewsbury.
Oh, I reckon, right? Yeah, I do think so. And also like, it'd be nice to have a little kind of communal workspace.
Yeah. I mean, I know they got Participate.
Yes.
Which is amazing. And I know that's going, which is going to be a huge shame. I've recorded there before and I've made some great connections there as well.
Right, yeah.
Places like that are just invaluable.
Oh, totally. Yeah, because it is. I think it's can be a very lonely business if you're self-employed or if you're like one-man band or whatever.
Yeah.
You've got your support network around you, but having people in a similar industry or a similar kind of like creative career it's great because you'd be like, oh, I've got this really specific problem that I've been having, or like, how the frick do I price for this specific thing? Like,
I've talked a lot about that at Drawn, actually, to some of the younger artists.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that I kept talking about. And the more I talked about it, it's kind of, there's a deep philosophy behind it, actually, when you think about it. Like, you come out of college or university, whatever, you've got this new skill, you're making movies or you're an artist, whatever. How do you price yourself?
Yeah.
How do you know what you're worth? And that's scary,
that's the biggest question. And also having enough conviction in yourself to be like, yes, I am worth this amount. And I know that is the hardest like obstacle for so many people. And it doesn't matter if you have people saying, you are worth this much. You've got to feel it yourself before you can actually charge it.
Yeah.
And
of course.
it's that whole imposter syndrome, isn't it? Feeling like, I feel like I'm ripping somebody off. But you're not. Like, and so much of the time it's like, you're undercharging, man. Like, bump it up.
I mean, I hate to talk about, I feel like I've been really braggy because this piece of kit here, the pod track PA, I put on Facebook the other day. I was like, oh my God, they got this amazing piece of kit. And it's really crass to do normally. But like the battles and the journey I've had to get all this equipment and whatever. But
no, man, it's good.
It was one of the imposter syndrome, what you're just talking about.
Yeah.
Not valuing yourself. No, I deserve this.
You know. Work hard.
Have you had those moments where you're having a negotiation when it comes to price and you've sort of clenched your eyes and you've gone, I want amount, and they've gone, okay, and you've gone, what? Because that happened to me recently, and I was like, oh, okay, this is happening.
It's good. Well, you do, you never want a pricing negotiation to be a battle and like a back and forth. You want to be like, let me figure it out. Yeah, this is what I'm worth, and you want them to be like, okay, great. That should be how it goes, and if it doesn't, then there's something wrong. It's usually not your fault. it's that somebody else is underappreciating you. I believe that. But if there's one thing I can do this year is that I'd love to like change people's mindsets a little bit about how much they're worth and be able to actually sell that and be happy with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it is, it's a tricky one.
Well, I'm very excited about this idea of creating a communal studio. So if there's anything I can do to sort of help any people you want me to speak to or anything.
Please, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm not keeping this a secret because I want as much help as possible. I want people to come in and tell me how they want the space to be, how they want it to look. This isn't just for me. Obviously, I'll use it, but it's
there's a lot of offices that have sent their workers home and they haven't come back yet. Do you know what I mean? There's probably lots of office space that's going to be available around Shrewsbury soon.
Yeah.
And probably places that are probably a bit more accessible. I love town, don't get me wrong. I think it's amazing, but maybe there's places that's a bit more accessible.
Yeah.
Nice big car park or something, That
would be nice.
Yeah.
Parking is like a dream at the moment. It's like, might not happen, but we'll see.
Well, Aaron, I feel like the ice is well and truly properly broken now. With this, so I'm really happy that we've done this today.
Yeah, me too, man. It's so good to properly chat with you.
Yeah, and you're welcome on any time, genuinely.
Do it.
Where can people get in touch with you if they want to commission you? Are you taking commissions at the moment, or are you fully booked?
I am for I'm kind of, like I said, this month is quite gentle for me because I think it's so important, right, to just have a bit of time to figure stuff out, figure what you're doing. Absolutely. So this month is quiet, but I'm taking stuff on from February onwards. So but you can get in touch with me on my website, so paintedlife.co.uk. Drop me a little message.
You're on Facebook as well.
On Instagram. Not
Painted
TikTok.
On TikTok.
Nope.
No. Snapchat me.
Yeah.
Aaron, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I need to give my website a plug as well, guys. I think I'm a couple of weeks behind with updating the content, but normally our content is available on our website and you can press play right from the website and it'll play it. It's very, very easy. And that's shrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. And that's made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. So if you're looking for a website, make sure you check out Web Orchard. They will make a beautiful website just for you. We are going to be getting involved with a lot of events very soon. But if you do want to come on the show, if you know somebody who wants to come on the show, I am looking at a scheduling app where you can just literally book in and it will send me a notification of like, I'm speaking to this person on this day. And that's how that will work. But you can also email me, which is shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. I want to hear from you if you want to come on the show, especially if you have a community project and you're going out there and helping your local community. You get straight to the front of the queue for that. So get in touch. Aaron, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been great. I'm going to mix in my my outro now and try not to giggle as I do it. I can't believe I did that at the beginning of the episode, but here we go. So catch you later, guys. Peace out.